Land Rover might get rid of the two-door Defender, but for the time being, you can still buy one. The Land Rover of Lehigh is providing us with this two-door Defender. I'll include a link to the website in the description down below. This one's available for sale, by the way. If you have any questions, just ask for Casey. Under the hood is a turbo 3-liter inline-6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic. Fuel economy is 18 around town, 23 on the highway, with power outputs being 395 horsepower and then 406 pound-feet of torque. If you're looking for more straight-to-the-point reviews like this, make sure you subscribe. So this special edition has a cool decal on the hood, and then you can see here for the fancy checker plates. They're more for show than anything else. And then of course you've got the circular lights the Defender is famous for. And then you can see the fog lights. And I like this new trim that Land Rover is doing at the bottom. You can tell this is going to hold up a lot better than like fancy painted trim that's higher up. And it just still looks nice. So overall, you've got that boxy front end that everyone loves with the Defender. Tire wheel setup is 255 by 60 by 20. And you'll notice that you've got all-terrain tires with this 5-spoke wheels. Kind of a classic look. And then you've got the venting on the side. And then it is blacked out at the bottom, also at the mirror caps and the roof, and even the storage box on the side. And yes, it has one of those. Not only does that storage box add practicality, it just makes this look more off-road ready. Now when it comes to key fob features, we have our lock and unlock. You've got the unlock for the rear swing gate. That's to turn on the lights, and then the Land Rover logo on the back. Now opening up the rear swing gate here. Very easy. You do have a little kind of storage cubby right there. Let's see this. Little hook on the side. There we go. I was pushing it in the wrong way. Anyways, with the 90, you don't have as much space in the back. That is one downside with this compared to the 110. But you still can raise and lower the rear with those little buttons right there. It still has air suspension. Gotta love the boxy taillights. And then again, you've got the painted trim there. Recovery points on either side. Full-size spare with the cover over it. That will cap things off for the exterior of the 90 here. Keyless entry, and let's check out the interior. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, regular glass up front. This is really nice with all of the trim. You've got your window controls, the mirror adjustments. You do have memory seats with this for the sound system. And then payload. It says 825. I'm starting to think that like all these American Defenders have more than 825. They just say 825 so they can put the same sticker on all of them. Now I've got a latch. Can pull the seat forward and then I can press this to move it forward. And that'll help us access the rear seats. Now legroom here on the back is solid. Got a grab handle and then I love the windows up top. It's definitely a cool feature. You do get vents here for the rear passengers, USB ports down below. The seats themselves, the trim is really nice on these, and then we do have a panoramic sunroof. The front seat also really nice with all of the trim, bar adjustments and everything on the side, and then again you got the fancy trim on the dash. Now take a look at the steering wheel, soft touch all around. Practical controls on the front face, including the heated steering wheel, your cruise control. Got voice command controls on the other side, regular stocks there on the back. And then, look at this, digital cluster, and you'll note you can change the information that's displayed there. It is relatively customizable because you can also make it be a single dial if you want, for example. This does come with a 360 camera system, your little off-road view. And notice center and rear diff lock on this. All of them have a center diff lock, but only some of the Defenders will have a rear. They might change that in the future. But camera system aside, the infotainment system is quick to respond. I like the off-road stuff that it shows. But yeah, I think it's overall a really good system. It also comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now below that you can see the shifter here to put it into gear. And then we do have physical controls, so like you got the multifunction with the climate, so that controls also the heated ventilated seats, the fan speed, and then I can even control the drive modes, all with those dials. And then the air suspension adjustment is there. We also have the low range because this has a 2-speed transfer case. I like this whole storage area, like soft touch trim here, got cup holders, phone charging pad, big center console, and then it goes all the way back with a lid. Nice trim there on the top, nice trim on the dash. Regular rear view mirror, and then big old sunroof. Here we go, 2026 Defender 90. You can see Sedona red, and it's part of a special package. You can see Sedona red pack. But base MSRP is 68, but after all options, 81,850. You can see the warranty on this is a 4-year, 50,000 mile new vehicle warranty. You also get the roadside assistance and then corrosion, 6-year unlimited miles. Let's take it out and see how it performs. Oh, Defender 90. Finally get a review one of these for the 2026 model year. And I mean, like this is the only one they have in the lot. Like, let me show you. They've got some Defenders. They have more Octas than they have two-doors. that is how low the production is on these two-door Defenders at this point. And it makes sense to me. Like, I love the concept of a two-door. There's an Octa, by the way. But yeah, you've got all these Defenders. There's 130s, there's 110s. Over here, we've got more. But yeah, I don't think I'd ever buy a two-door Defender personally. Like, I look at this and I go, man, that is cool. Please give me a four-door. that's just it's practical. It's the four-door. But I mean, the two-door is very appealing in terms of the size. You know, like, one of my friends bought one of these and he loves it. Absolutely loves it. But yeah, just getting people and things in and out of the back with two-door configuration, not the worst thing on the planet, but definitely something to contend with. That is, look at that Defender. That thing is crazy. Looks like it's lifted. Maybe that's why it's in service. Thing I always say about, so like I talk about reliability in my reviews nowadays. Thing I always say about these Defenders, these things, if you keep them stock, they can be really good to you from a reliability perspective, especially the inline six. The inline six is a good engine. The problems start when people modify these. When people modify these, that's where the issues start to pop up. So if you keep it stock, it'll be just fine. And you know, it is going to be a little bit more expensive with the maintenancing compared to other brands, but I mean, that's just kind of how luxury cars work. And that's the price you pay for something that drives as well as this does. I mean, this is the worst driving Defender in my opinion, because the short wheelbase means that it's not as comfortable as a 110 or 130. And it also just doesn't, like the handling, it feels more tippy because of that short wheelbase. It's like a two-door Wrangler. Concept's cool, but the actual like reality, you know, it's always a little bit different. I feel like they've improved the braking on the Defenders over the years. Because remember the first time I reviewed one of these new gen Defenders, I was like, man, the braking just doesn't feel right. But yeah, now the braking feels a lot better. A lot better than it used to. It's pretty insulated. Even though you just have the regular glass, it's the overall cabin insulation is good. Again, boxy design, but the wind noise is not bad at all. So that's a plus. I don't know. I'm always torn on these. I'm always torn on these two doors, if they should keep them or not. Because like I get from a production standpoint, it's expensive to produce a vehicle in low volume, but I do think that it helps out the Defender brand, because nobody else other than Jeep and Ford have a two-door SUV like this. And so it's like, yeah, it's not going to sell in high volume, but it creates a cool factor. It's like the Defender really is the fun car, because you can get this still without the family configuration. And the handling's not bad. I mean, with the air suspension and everything, it goes around corners quite well. It's definitely not bad. But yeah, there's always something to contend with. So, in conclusion, should you get a two-door Defender? Well, depends. If you don't need to use the back seats on a regular basis, this is a little bit more exciting in terms of the looks, and it does drive. It's a little bit lighter. It does drive a little bit smaller, but you know, from a practicality standpoint, yeah, the four-door is just better. And I prefer the looks of the four-door personally. I think the 110 is like peak Defender when it comes to aesthetics. It's just the proportions and also the drive, the wheelbase, everything's just perfect with that car. Everything's perfect with that car. And so I really do think that that's the way to go. This is smooth with the acceleration. That is for sure. Love the inline six. Land Rover is getting rid of the 5.0 V8, and that was one of the cool things about the two-door too, is you can get the two-door with a 5.0 V8. Crazy vehicle. Probably going to be a collectible down the road. So, let me know your thoughts.